friends, welcome to our video on the simple present tense. This tense is generally used to talk about the things that we do on a regular basis. Let us look at how sentences are formed in this tense. I go. I is the subject and go is the verb. Let us look at the other examples. You go. We go. They go. He goes. She goes. And it goes. Here, I, you, we, they, he, she, and it are the subject and go is the verb. So, in the simple present tense, we use the base form of the verb after the subject. You must have noticed some changes here. When the subject is he, she, or it, or any other singular subject, we add s or es to the base form of the verb. Tom is an example of a singular subject. And we use the base form of the verb when the subject is I, you, we, they, or any other plural subject. Children is an example of a plural subject. Here we have some sentences in the simple present tense. Let us do a simple exercise to find out which are the subjects and the verbs. We go to the park on Sundays. What is the subject in this sentence? Yes, it is we. And what is the verb? It is go. I enjoy music. What is the subject here? Yes, it is I. And what about the verb? It is enjoy. She goes to bed at 8 p.m. every day. What is the subject? Yes, it is she. And what about the verb? Yes, it is goes. Please note that since the subject is singular, we have added es to the verb. So go became goes. Jyoti lives in a large house. What is the subject in this sentence? Yes, it is Jyoti. And what is the verb? It is lives. Since the subject Jyoti is singular, we have added s to the verb live. So live becomes lives. The children go to school. What is the subject in this sentence? Yes, it is the children. And what about the verb? It is go. Since the subject children is plural, we did not add anything to the verb. So, it is go. Since the subject children is plural, we have only used the base form of the verb, which is go. The sun rises in the east. What is the subject in this sentence? It is the sun. And what about the verb? Yes, it is rises. Since the subject the sun is singular, we added s to the verb rise. Let us see how to use this tense. There are certain circumstances to use this tense. Let us see them one by one. First of all, we can use this tense to talk about things that are permanent. For example, she lives in Tokyo. I work at the bank. When we say she lives in Tokyo, we mean that it is where she stays permanently. She may go and live in Beijing for a couple of months, but Tokyo is where she lives permanently. Similarly, when someone says, I work at the bank, he means that is where he works permanently. So, we use a simple present tense to talk about something that is more or less permanent in nature. You can also make sentences about yourself. For example, I study in 4th standard, or I am a student of ABC school. Routines. What is a routine? A routine is something that you do regularly. For example, I play chess every day. They go to the park every day. These are the routines, which means that these are the things that they do regularly. This tense is also used to talk about facts. For example, the earth revolves around the sun. The sun sets in the west. These are the things that really do not change. These are called universal truths. Next are schedules. For example, the math starts at 7:30 p.m. Their class starts at 9:45 a.m. Here we use the tense to talk about the timings of certain things. Now let us look at frequency. Frequency tells us how often something happens. Examples are, I rarely walk to school. They go somewhere every year. When I say I rarely walk to school, I mean that most of the time I don't walk to school. And when we say they go somewhere every year, this means that it happens every year for sure. There are many adverbs of frequency that we can use in these sentences. For example, never, rarely, sometimes, often, always, etc. Let us use some of these adverbs in the sentences given above. When I say I never walk to school, that means that I don't walk to school at all. When I say I often walk to school, it means that most of the time I walk to school. And if I say I always walk to school, that means every day I walk to school. Now let us see how to construct positive, negative, and question sentences in this tense. In positive sentences, the subject is followed by the base form of the verb. Let us look at some examples. I like. You like. We like. They like. He likes. She likes. And it likes. Please note that with the singular subjects like he, she and it, we add s or es to the base form of the verb. Here the verb is like. So we added s to make it singular. Generally, after the subject and the base form of the verb, we have the object. So if I say I like ice cream becomes the object. Okay, now let us see how to form negative sentence in the simple present tense. This is the structure of a negative sentence. We start with the subject plus do not or does not and the base form of the verb. For subjects like I, you, we, they and any other plural subject, we use do not plus the base form of the verb. Let us look at some examples. I do not like. You do not like. We do not like. And they do not like. Normally, in conversational English, we use the contraction of do not, which is don't. With he, she and it and other singular subjects, we have to use does not plus the base form of the verb. It is important to note that in the positive sentences, we add s or es to the base form of the verb to make it singular. But in negative sentences, we do not add s or es and only use the base form of the verb. Let us read it once together. He does not like. She does not like. And it does not like. Doesn't is the contraction of does not. He doesn't like. She doesn't like. And it doesn't like. There is something important that I want to tell you. Do and does are helping verbs here. We can also add objects to these sentences like I do not like ice cream. He doesn't like ice cream. Now let us see how to form questions in the simple present tense. Question sentences start with do or does plus the subject followed by the base form of the verb. For I, you, we, they and other plural subjects we use do. Do I like? Do you like? Do we like? And do they like? And for he, she, it and other singular subjects we start with does. Does he like? Does she like? And does it like? Let us add an object to this. Do you like ice cream? Does he like ice cream? Please note that it is important to add question mark at the end of such interrogative sentences. You can also add question words like what, how, where, etc. before these question sentences. For example, what do you like? What does he like? You have to practice a lot to learn it, and with practice you will get used to it. Hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.